Hello everyone and welcome to the map Enigma. Starting things off, today's viewer submitted highlight matches of StarCraft 2, a 4v4 match actually. We're going to be speeding a bit through these intros here. 8 players and already things are happening. Yellow, Terran, Team 1, Many Man. Okay. Orange, Terran Ally, Super Ninja. Green Zerg, who is no longer here, might I add, Xeno. Pink Terran, Tarini. Do we need to pause? Do we need to pause the intros here? I think we might have to pause. Hold on a second here, guys, because Many Man SCVs are here and craving violence already. A worker rush, really? But not even all the workers. There's still some back at home. At least commit if you're going to do this sort of play here. The SCVs have a really nice spot, actually. Some of them could be trying to repair the front line, but that's a bit too much micro, we know. Even Team Number 2's Teal Terran Ally coming to pitch in. We'll get to those names in just a second here, because the SCVs will be cleaned up with minimal losses. Only 7 to 10. That's pretty good, I will say. Alright. Team Number 2 with a stellar defense so far. Red Protoss, Thor. Blue Protoss Ally, nowhere to be seen yet in the match. It is MTH, Myth. I'm guessing. Teal Terran Ally, the friend, the champion we all needed in that fight. Great Oz. And finally, wrapping it all up, Purple Protoss, a severe lack of Zergs in this one. It is clearly trying. Trying to do what? We may never know. The only Zerg quit. He's like, ugh, I'm the only Zerg in this entire match? I don't want to play that. GG, Teal wins it. Teal, you know, I have to say, is rather impressing in this match. Not only pitching in to help their teammate in their time of need, but also setting up a proxy everything. Essentially, we have a bunker, we have 2 racks and a factory here. Red, I think, was thinking about doing a cannon rush, but maybe they just wanted to cannon rush their own ramp, their own base entrance. The lighting at the bottom of that ramp is clearly a problem. How will the others respond, though? We see that they haven't really decided. Nobody's wanted to take over green at this point. I totally would have. In this situation, I'd be like, oh guys, I got this, okay. Playing Terran and Zerg, totally fine. We will see though, how will they actually respond to all this? They're using that extra income, of course, from green, so it's not that they're getting nothing, they're just getting a lot less than they maybe would have. I don't know, though. I mean, team games, like, we all know. There's those players out there. Orange has been really setting up a heck of a defense, I will say, though. 5 racks on not even an orbital. It's not too bad of a play. Teal's going to make themselves known here. Moving up the ramp, a couple bunkers will be made. Yellow appears to have taken over the drones to try to save some of them, or perhaps send them into the frontline grinder here. Orange, Marines, and Marauders here for the defense will easily clean up the Teal forces, actually. Now, of course, Orange, you know, going for such a heavy defense, sacrificing a bit of SCVs, it seems, compared to Team Number 2. They are behind, yes. Purple swinging in with a few oracles, couple of oracles here. Maybe looking for a little bit of worker damage, or at least just maybe to annoy and distract their opponents, which I will say is working out so far. Oh, Orange finding the proxy buildings, will try to clean them up. Siege tank is going to be made. Decent timing there. Should be totally safe. Siege up that tank. Ooh, rated M for mature there. Siege tanks will be here to help out the barracks. Lifting to That's fine. I love the commitment to the proxy, actually. Can we just make all of our buildings out here, maybe? Teal, looking to captivate on that prime real estate, that remote access location out here. I love the bunker, too. This is completely a forward operating base. Alright. How's everybody else doing? Red, deciding to go straight from cannon rushing to double core air upgrades. Excellent. You even have a Stargate. Not yet, but that's why they call it an investment, Indigos. Okay, it's not supposed to pay off right away. One day, I might get a Void Ray, and then it will be all the stronger. You'll see. I will prove you wrong, and I'll go, okay. I look forward to that. Pink, declaring perhaps defend my Marines at this main base planetary location. I'm sorry, where did all of Pink's workers go? Pink, I mean, they've only got 19. They may have only had 19. They've lost 3, which tells us a great story, I think. Maybe the Oracles killed 3, damaged a couple others, but Pink really has been the culprit of their own worker loss, I will say. Double planetary. The base setup. Goodness. Alright, how's everybody else doing? Blue. I haven't really seen much from Blue here. They've had a couple stalkers. They got that nice 44 probe count. Okay. And it would appear they're going for shield upgrades and blink. Intriguing choices abound. We know purple. Purple knows what they're doing. Alright, team game Protoss composition right here. How's your air upgrades, though? Are you lacking? I think you're lacking compared to red here. Who's going to have 1-1 completed before their Stargate? Yes. Like, what does the Stargate require, Indigos? A core. Yes. They're not going to be able to start 2-2 without that pesky fleet beacon, though. Okay, there we go. Oh yeah, Stargate explosion here. We've unlocked the ability. You can't actually build a Stargate until +1 is done for the air units. Did you know that? It's in the handbook that you didn't read because it was written in Protoss language, whatever that language is. I forget the name of it. There is a name for it. I used to know it. Maybe it'll come back to me. Kala. It was written in Kalai, of course, yes. Siege tank's going to start to move up here. Teal, by far the perhaps the most ambitious, I will say, in trying to get the game actually won, make the game go somewhere. Yellow will respond, a bit of defense here. Ah, this is probably not Pink pinging. That's probably somebody else telling Pink, hey, you should probably come help. This isn't Sim City, okay, or Civilization game, no. Siege tanks will square off, likely just stare at each other angrily, just out of range. Don't make a bunker there. Oh, blue actually gonna blink forward, pick off the tank. What a helper. Orange coming in for a flank though, unfortunately, sending bio forces into a grinder though. Not going to work out too well, I will say, for Orange. There were, what, 4 or 5 siege tanks there already set up? Not looking too great for the Orange Terran so far. Who still hasn't quite found the orbital button. You say what you want, of course, about the double planetary player, but at least they know what to turn their command centers into, even if it's not quite the correct choice. Better than a naked command center, I suppose. Yeah, no, I don't think Orange knows about that button. A lot of Marines, though. Orange is a fan of the reactored barracks. It's so well organized, too. You can tell. You can tell which players, what their style is. You can see the organization. Chaos. Madness. Ah, yes, get those depots down. That way I can move my things around more easily. I don't think these Marines have moved. Yeah, that's all that needs to be said. The siege tank crawl still working over here. Blue helping out, I will say. You know, we've talked a lot about what the others may or may not have done, but blue is actually out here helping out. Okay. Red deciding to put those air upgrades to good use, getting void rays. Purple, where's the carriers? Where are the carriers? They're over here. Okay. Where all carriers belong, I suppose. Meanwhile, teal and blue adjacent, I could call them. Well, teal's actually busting out some ravens. You have interference? Yes, interference matrix is on the board, which will be quite helpful for shutting down these siege tanks, I would wager. Not a whole lot else over here, though. Like, is this really the point that needs to be contested? I would love to see, you know, red and purple maybe team up, the air powers unite, go after the turret planetary player. The Ravens did make their move, it would appear. A couple siege tanks destroyed, a couple others going to back off, while teal and blue make their way into the base. Lift the main orbital. That's the answer. Solid anti-armor missile goes out. Marines stimming forward, stutter stepping galore. The Zerg building, he's not even here, and you guys are bullying him, really? Poor Zerg players, good grief. Everybody's just so happy to go after the Zerg player. Pink refusing to help their teammates in any situation. Gonna try to set up those siege tanks. Interference matrices go out. Green losing all of their buildings. Teal pushing in. The interference is strong with this one. Stalker's gonna help out and support. Meanwhile, the other two teammates nowhere to be seen. I haven't seen any void rays, any carriers, but they don't need the help, it seems. Blue and teal working together. I like it. The planetary will fall. Marines, siege tank moving up here. Stalkers blinking around, going after the decorative Viking. The void rays actually on the move. Thor, what was the key? 2-2-2. We weren't allowed to actually move out until we had 2 attack, armor, and shields. Don't be foolish. Green losing all of their drones. No hope for any Zerg forces in this match. Orange, no reactors, no orbital, and no hope, it seems, of repelling this assault. They're instead going to try to relocate both their existing production and more to the alternative base location. Yes, the Black Ops site that we had hidden at the base. Yes, okay. Void Rays, the definition of overkill here, charging up those beams to go after supply depots. Yeah, the bases are ravaged. Where'd blue go? Blue moving the stalkers around, okay, going off to try to help. The carriers at long last join the fray as orange and yellow tapping out. Pink is the final bastion for team number 1. It's a planetary, right? It'll be fine. Just as the void rays get here to help out, the carriers show themselves at last. The game will end. Entertaining, chaotic, if a bit wild. I have to give an honorable mention, of course, to Great Oz and MTH, teal and blue. You two impressing me with your cohesion, the working together to get the job done. Excellent, you two. Very nice. Onwards now to the next match of the day. For the second match of the day, we find ourselves on the familiar 1v1 map of Amphion. The red Terran player here in the upper left corner, it is Johnny Quest. Like, does Johnny have a quest? Is Quest Johnny's last name? Is it a reference to something? Who am I to know? Who am I to proclaim their Terran opponent? The blue SCVs here in the bottom left. It is Timbo. TVT. Severe lack of Zergs today. Ugh, the disappointment. We shall see though. TVT, I have had some really good viewer games. I'll say TVT. That's a bit of a wild card of a matchup for the lower leagues. Is it going to be a chaotic marine grinder, or will we be having somebody rush straight to battle cruisers? we'll stick around. We'll see. I reserve the right to speed up the game. I saw the length of time on this replay. Alright, onwards now. We'll dive into this. Both of them appear to be going similar setups so far. 1 Rex, 1 gas. Timbo getting that second depot. Not quite sure that was needed just yet. You're going to wind up delaying the CC here. You have the minerals now, though. Timbo. Nope. Not going to do it. Oh, God. Don't let him block it. What is this? What is this? Are you focusing on this SCV instead? Well, Johnny's gonna get his command center going a bit quicker here. Luckily, though, Johnny misplaced the barracks, so won't be able to start that marine production right away. Johnny will be a little bit delayed on that front. Oh my gosh. Start this command center right now. Okay, that's out of control to have it go that long. I had to bring a different SCV because this one got so damaged and harmed in that engagement. He needs therapy now. Has to take a little PTO. Well, the other SCVs chase each other. One of them with minerals. That probably hurts. He's probably trying to hit him with the mineral chunk. I feel like they should get little plus damage. How's that for a fun thought, actually? We'll watch these two. See what happens to this poor SCV. While the worker's holding minerals, they get plus damage. Tell me I'm not crazy, because I think that sounds fine. It seems to make sense to me. It's like holding a rock. Come on. How many times in history do you think somebody has figured out they could do more damage to something by using a rock instead of their drill hand? I don't know, actually. Now that I think about it out loud, I kind of regret my decision, my actions here. Back to the TVT. Double starport on the way for Mr. Quest, it seems. Tech Lab Factory, Reactor Barracks, both so far slightly decorative. Building up those workers, though. I like the choice. Got to get more SCVs. Natural working on it now, too. Excellent. Orbitals across the board, actually. So, hey, that's a plus, right? That's improvement over some we've seen today. The 1-1-1 setup for the blue Terran here. Curious to see what the compositions will look like. Going for Liberator, huh? Huh. I don't hate it. I also don't really love it, though. I'm waiting. Impress me with this Liberator. I'll let it go. I'll let it slide, of course. On the other side, double medevac from these starports once again. Mr. Quest, Johnny, if you will, Johnny here. You know your buildings are gonna need add-ons. Like, we can place them appropriately to allow for the add-on to be made without having to lift the starport. Are you going double Liberator? No. Nobody's really scouted each other either to know what's going on here. Oh my gosh, no. Johnny doesn't care one bit. Johnny is getting ready to do his medevac siege tank marine drop here. Timbo setting up the Liberator. Tensions are rising. I suspect we will get to some action here. Probably once the Liberator comes out. It feels like this slightly Wings of Liberty-esque drop move. We're missing the second tank. Johnny's opting for more Marines, so it'll be one tank. Oh, one tank, one Liberator, and a bunch of Marines. They don't have stim, though. This is a stim-free drop. Okay, drug-free zone, kids. Don't need stim. You just need confidence, I guess. The Liberator will move in here, set up shop over the red base, the turret. I like the choice. I like that was the first thought. That was the knee-jerk decision was, oh, there's a Liberator. I need to build a turret right underneath it. Yes, absolutely. The SCV's panicking, in peril now. Johnny, of course, having to deal with that. Not going to be able to set up the attack just yet. Luckily, though, Timbo, not a whole lot of missile turrets here in position. This drop might actually do a bit of damage. And depending where Johnny decides to set up the infrastructure might get in Timbo's way of the defense here. The scan telegraphing I'm about to do something here, of course. Ooh, that missile turret. Little late on that response. This is a fantastic spot to set up. I think this is great. Siege tank sets up next to the command center. Marines try to get up the ramp. The boys are pulled to the front line, which is only going to result in their own demise. The SCVs actually do help get the siege tank, though, which will dislodge this position. At least the Liberator fell as well, and then started, I think that was Timbo's Liberator that started using its anti-air attack on the medevacs. Siege tank helping out. Marines, well, not doing a whole lot, actually. Oh god, it's not in range. Right here. Right here. You needed it, like, right here. Oh, that hurts. How'd the other Liberator do? Well, actually, I think that was the one Liberator. Timbo brought the Liberator from Johnny's base back home for the defense, and SCV's continuing to fall. 24 workers killed, 31 to 15. I would call this game over, but you know this is a viewer game. Anything can still happen at this point. Johnny's gonna pick up in the medevacs, start to try to find somewhere else to wreak havoc, do a bit of damage. The drop has been wildly successful, I would say. Marine's gonna drop out, still no stim. Ooh, not even really any production. Johnny very focused, making sure all 31 workers are mining out the main base as fast as possible. Zero production back home because we're too busy microing these 5 Marines that have already gotten more damage than they ever deserved to. Johnny looks back at home and says, oh my gosh, I've had 31 workers here this entire time. Let me put 6 of them on gas, quick. He gave up, I think. Instead of trying to shift click the workers into the refinery, he just put them all on minerals and said, I'll divvy them up one at a time. God. The medevacs actually will make it out of that alive, which I think is both impressive and terrible, because now you're going to feel rewarded for how much you controlled and microed the group there, which isn't that great of a development. However, on the flip side, of course, you killed 26 workers, so the blue Terran in a bit of trouble. I will say though, Timbo, they've been making workers pretty consistently since that time. The count, not too far off actually, 12 to 13 workers difference right now. Timbo really needs to just slap down a 3rd command center and try to claw their way back into this game. I think we're good to speed this up for a bit. It's a TVT. They did their micro turn, now they're taking their macro turns. We'll speed this along a little bit as the compositions develop. Johnny out here getting that 3rd CC. Quite a wild game. No stim still? No, we have to get high sec auto tracking. Yeah. I don't even think any barracks has a tech lab actually. Oh, these two will have tech labs, so we'll probably get stim and shields at this point, now that the production allows for such a thing. Triple factory, double starport, triple barracks. Johnny out here was reading up on all those fancy builds. People say, oh, the 111's pretty good. It's a nice versatile build. But if I get 333, then I'll have even more, right? That's pretty good. I think that's a good investment. Oh yes, I need to get all of the upgrades all at once. Stim, shells, pre-igniter, drilling claws, and smart servos. As my opponent starts to make their way up the ramp here, Timbo does not have stim either. Stim finishing now that the battle is over, which is going to really show itself, show the pain here. Yeah, stim just now completing. Shields was present though. Shields did a whole lot to really save those stains on the hardwood floor. Yeah. Could have stemmed up the ramp, at least got them on the hardwood floor a little bit quicker maybe. Might have taken out these tanks, possibly. Really needed something else, though. This is why you see Terran players in the TVT situations go for things like Ravens, go for things like Liberators, or way too many Marines for it to actually matter. Could have dropped, too. I mean, could have routed a medevac around here, dropped a little bit, tried to distract the tanks. A lot of it's execution, and that's probably one of the more frustrating parts of a TVT, actually, is it's a little, it's like a chess match, really. You have to, you know, contemplate what you're doing, your compositions as well, while also making sure you execute it supremely precisely. All the while, you're liable to just have your entire army blow up in your face, because that's how Terran glass cannons work. Johnny, why are we building Liberators? We're getting fusion core and hurricane engine. It's not hurricane thrusters anymore, I want to say. It's hurricane engine, maybe. +1 attack for the starport units. Those Liberators, they're going to pack a serious punch, okay? Really going to help out against the 27 Marines. Look at the worker count, guys, what'd I tell you? Blue Terran bringing themselves back into this, evening it up, and deciding to try to catapult themselves into an economic lead by having 3 bases added on at once. Gonna have to apply a little bit of pressure here with these fancy skinned Vikings, whatever that fancy Viking skin is. Uh-oh, Johnny spots the army moving out, Timbo. You saw that, right? You saw this, right? Return scan. His entire army could have been here, Timbo. Ugh. The confidence. Where are these going? I'm curious. They were on an attack command, guys. These workers were here for blood. They wanted violence. They craved destruction. That was an attack command. 4 SCVs, huh? Are the medevacs that made it out of the initial attack never quite made it home? They decided to go rogue and just go on a vacation, it would seem. I love viewer games. Absolutely. Absolutely. Fantastic. Alright, so now we're looking at the defense. Marine count heavily in favor of the Blue Terran. Viking count in favor of the Blue Terran. A few tanks will be dropped and slowly set up to siege here. Not going to work out too well. Marauders going to stem up that ramp. Vikings trying to support, deal with the Liberators, but the siege tank count I think is just a little too strong here for red. Not too sure blue can actually break up that ramp. Might have to find another place to do some damage. Because surely, if I see my opponent is on 2 bases, and I'm on, we'll call it 4, despite there being 5 command centers here, I really feel the need to push up that ramp and wiggle my way into a narrow defeat by losing my entire army. Yes, that's my first thought too. Not at all maybe thinking, if I just contain my opponent on 2 bases and deal with the probably 6 battle cruisers he's inevitably making, then I'll be fine. No, I'm thinking instead, let me throw that entire army away up the ramp. Yeah, great call. Okay. I see, we are working our way there, though. We got the rocks destroyed, so we'll be checking the bases out here. This is a good thought. We'll get there. We'll get there. Liberator. Oh, hey. Blue Terran looking pretty good, actually. Not throwing the entire army away. Gonna set up a few tanks. Should be able to get this command center. Focus the CC. Come on. Oh, there you go. Get that command center. The Liberator gets the 1 free kill over the decorative base on the far right side here. The SCVs still not quite sure what they're having for dinner now that they couldn't find any opponents. Vikings. Intriguing. Command center will be destroyed, not canceled on the far left there. Ah, here you go. God, boys, we're having command center for dinner. We'll make missile turrets to cement this location as our home. That better not be in the way of the CC. Johnny's Vikings will destroy that command center, clearing this location. Timbo should know about this at this point, though. Yeah, moving the army around. We'll be able to perhaps mount a defense. Command centers continue to be made as Timbo working on their heavy bank at 144 supply. The Liberator will finally be cleaned up. I think it did get a few more kills. Yeah, possibly two more SCV kills, I think. That was Timbo's plan all along. That's why I didn't saturate those bases, Indigos. I knew the Liberator was coming. I was planning ahead. Yes, I see that. I agree. Very well done. You calculated, Terran. Viking Wars going in favor of Johnny at this point. Marine's not going to be able to really deal with them. The second group maybe could have gone for a flank, but we'll see. This base will not be denied necessarily because no command center was even started, but the missile turret emplacements will be lost, which was the true value anyways. You know, that was the priority because Johnny built those first. The Vikings with smart servos, see, Indigos, that's why I built smart servos. I could get to the ground that much quicker so that I can lose every Viking I had on this side of the map. Like the Heart of a Swarm cinematic, all to a bad decision. Fabulous. I know, you guys got sarcasticos today. I'm sorry. It's okay. It's not you. Wow. Holy Valhalla. Alright, how many Vikings? 23 Vikings. 2-2 is started for them as well. There's no... Your long distance mining, just move the command center. Your main... Don't tell me you're keeping your main here just for 100 gas. Good grief. Alright. Well, the long distance mining will be found and interrupted by Timbo, who's now going to join his army forces. 119 army supply. 48, 50 Marines. I'm sorry. We're still making Marines. Good. 23 Marauders, which will stare angrily as the Vikings leave the home nest here. It's raiding time. Bust out your longboats and pray there's no psi storms, because we're going to get some loot. Okay, there's treasure to be had out there. What do they say? Fortune favors the bold. Oh yeah. Liberators are here too. One kill between them, but now the Vikings land on deck, and this should be enough Vikings to actually deal with the ground forces, even if we are over-microing and stutter-stepping them. Yeah, will be plenty. 2-2 about halfway down the army. Timbo decides, I have to save my base. Bring everything home. The siege tanks, though. Oof. Alright, the Vikings going to lift up into the air. Those smart servos really helping out, catapulting themselves back up. The Marines on a very focused move command and will finally start to go after the Vikings, which now hold the high ground. Be very careful here. Going up a ramp, whether it's up against siege tanks or landed Vikings, it seems we must have caution, we must have care. It's a solid position, but this is just way too much bio. The Marine Marauder will have no trouble cleaning it up eventually, and this is going to leave Johnny in a very precarious spot with only 12 minerals to his name. If only there was some way that we could move these buildings. It worked. I'm actually impressed it worked. SCVs break through the contain. The blockade. The blockade is broken. The command center will now float into position here. I mean, go kill him. Go punch him in the face. You cleared his Viking army. You just saw SCVs kill siege tanks. Go punch him in the face. Quit sitting here making 5 barracks, pretending like we're macroing. No, come on. 3 factories and 5 racks. Get out of here. Go. Just send it all. Just send it all out. What are your upgrades like? 1-1. Do you have an armory? No. I don't see the armory. Okay. Side note, get an armory. And Red, how are you doing? You're making siege tanks? I mean, finally got the command center landed at least. So that's progress. We'll start to... No. We do not need... What is this? Caduceus reactor? What? I forget the name. It's the medevac energy one. Okay. Perfect song. I'm gonna just let the song carry us for the rest of this. I can barely write my name. You guys know who I'm looking at, who I'm talking about here. Getting +3 attack for our starport units, all 2 of them. We've got 1 Viking and 1 Liberator here. Production kicking in now. We're going to get +2 armor for somehow, barely, bio units. Blue Army will show itself. The missile turret will be the focus, the primary target. Viking will fall from the sky. Liberator, the next target. Planetary canceled. Command center destroyed. And now the SCV is in peril once again. You know what, actually? Now that I think about it, I'll wait till the end. I'll wait till the end. We'll talk about that afterwards. This base will be trashed, will be destroyed. Siege tanks doing a decent job holding the high ground here, though. This is 5 tanks. Is it going to be enough? Oh my gosh, the scan just getting free damage. Oh no. Liberators here. Nope. Oh god, it ends. It just ends. Johnny Quest sees all the blue army, says, well, I lost my base. I can't get it done. I might as well just tap out. Alright, now I'll say it. Honorable mention. Both of these Terrans, actually, because there were 0 battle cruisers. And I went into this match expecting way more than 0 battle cruisers, so I have to tip my hat, hand it off. Very nice job, both of you. A well-earned victory to Timbo here. If you enjoyed today, be sure to let me know in the comments below. As always, thank you everyone for the submissions. Absolutely enjoyable and entertaining. I hope you all have a great day.